Machine, pencil, cartography. Today, we need to discuss some important details about orthotics. We will remember that navigation is a skill-based discipline that requires us to pay special attention to the details in our field. We will choose the example of navigating on a fixed track so that we can control some of our variables and simplify our examinations. One important navigational consideration that hasn't been discussed enough on MPC is about how we track our progress along our courses. Intuitively, this discussion is about estimating our distances along our tracks, and also about estimating how much time it will take to complete our exercises. For example, you can probably relate to getting exhausted during a very long voyage, and it might be important for you to track your progress if you are thinking about turning back. One way that navigators track their progress during orienteering expeditions is by using geographical markings called phase lines. Phase lines demarcate how our behaviors change dynamically according to how far along we are in our course. Therefore, we can show that different responsibilities will be more or less relevant depending on what stage of our operations we are at. As fundamental orienteering knowledge, it is necessary for every navigator to know about the brink of navigation. The brink of navigation is the very first phase line, and it demarcates the starting line of our course. They say that everything that you need for a course should be prepared before you cross the brink. Practically speaking, you cross the brink when you leave your base of operations, and you should always be preparing for your operations in the background. When you spend your time developing new orienteering skills by reading books, doing practice problems, and learning about map symbology, these are all valuable exercises that you need to complete while you are not on the course itself, because, theoretically speaking, all of these preparations should be completed ahead of time. In popular citation, you will also need to acquire basic supplies before crossing the brink, such as your outdoor clothing, and also packing enough food and water for your expedition, because these things need to be taken care of in advance. Since if you wait until you're endangered in the wild, then it's already too late. I have devised a style that I might use to represent the brink of navigation in my maps. They often like to use the checkered flag to represent the start and finish lines in motorsports. I was inspired to use a pinwheel to indicate the brink on my own maps, based upon its resemblance to a checkered flag. It is also absolutely necessary for everybody practicing orienteering to know about the helm of navigation. When you are out in the field searching for your orange and white flags, the technical naming convention for these flags are the orthotic helm of navigation. This is absolutely vital orthotics knowledge because the helm represents the focal point of the orthotics exercise. Supposedly, the orthotic helm of navigation is your purpose for coming out into the field in the first place, and you don't score in this sport until you reach the helm of navigation. Therefore, you should think of the helm of navigation as though this topographic object represents your targets or your goals. The orthotic helm is, perhaps, the single most important glossary term in navigation, and I am readily quoted saying that the purpose of navigation is to reach the helm and plink it. These navigational concepts are each related to our progress along our tracks, because we will experience the brink of navigation near the beginning of our expedition, and we will experience the helm of navigation near the end of our expedition. Thank you for your attention. This has been Machine Pencil Cartography, signing out.